Welcome. It is Thursday, the 27th of November, and the number of the day, Melissa, is 27 Rand. Why?
Well, Cell C listed today, and this has been nearly a decade in the making. I Googled a bit. The first mention of Cell C possibly listing was in 2016.
Sure.
So it has taken quite a bit, and it shows that some listings just do really take that much time. But the 27 Rand is their opening share price this morning on the JSE. Initially, it was going to be 26 Rand 50. That was what the IPO was. A bit less than what they wanted, but it then started at 9 o'clock at 27 Rand.
And it's currently 27 Rand 50 for a share in Cell C. So there's a little bit of interest in this company. Not much, but a little bit.
It is a bit flat, and I think for everybody involved with such a big listing or such a listing that you're waiting so long for, you would have wanted to see a bit more reaction from investors. What I heard from Gary Boyson at Rand Swiss this morning was that investors are cautious. They're checking it out. They're seeing what's happening. The fact that it hasn't fluctuated dramatically is already a good sign. It shows a solid confidence, people buying and all that.
All right. So Cell C used to be owned by Blue Label.
Yes.
Now it's standing on its own 2 feet on the JSE, and the JSE has had an amazing year with a lot of listings, which is quite exciting. The initial public offering, how's the company going to fare once it is publicly traded? Tell me what your impressions are. I remember once Cell C was seen as a real possible contender against the big two mobile operators, MTN and Vodacom. But then I think after a few years, there were missteps. I don't know if you remember that big billboard taken out by a disgruntled customer. They fought that. And people were concerned about a few things like Cell C's coverage. Is it as good? What about just your general ability to make calls?
So I think, and it's something that you mentioned earlier, is that, yes, they were poised to be like this big disruptor. Of the
and they had the
scene.
Wonderful voice, the woman's voice that everybody knew.
And the Trevor Noah ads, those were amazing. So, but something that their CEO said this morning is that they still plan to be that disruptor. But, and that's something that the CFO managed, is that they are a smaller company. They don't necessarily want to compete directly with your MTNs, your Vodacoms. They want to do good in what they're doing. Something with the coverage is that they do make use of like shared towers, and I might not be technically correct here, but shared towers to really do bring the connectivity to everybody. But is it like a big fight maybe coming? Or can we maybe expect more from Cell C in the coming months or years? I don't know.
Yeah. I guess the idea is that you get capital through a public listing and you can do good things. I guess what we can say is for consumers, you never want only one dominant player or only two. You want competition. So because that brings prices down and that keeps them all on their toes. So let's hope actually Cell C brings that element of competition into the market.
And I think one thing that really stood out for me this morning is the fact that it's just like a general step back. People are listing on the JSE. It is a huge sign for confidence in the local market if people choose to willingly share all their information publicly, because there's a lot of requirements with the JSE. It shows that they've got trust in themselves. It shows that they've got trust in the local market. And it's putting the power a bit back in our hands if we have that extra 27 Rand to spare to buy a share or two.
Yeah, because investors like options as well.
Exactly.
So the more companies they can check out and invest in. All right, we'll follow the fortunes of Cell C listing today on the JSE. The number of the day, 27 Rand. Let's see where it goes.